Hey, what's going on, guys? Martyr here. Thank you so much for joining me here on the FreeMelon Society. And this is going to be a more difficult video because I've got some sad news. For those of you who don't know me already, I'm a professional stuntman, so I've been working in the industry for many years now, over 10 years. I'm also a bit of a naturalist, a self-taught natural hygienist, and I've been working towards improving my health, wellness, and spiritual development ever since I started uncovering the truths of reality and the laws that govern vitality, and working towards aligning my diet and lifestyle with those natural truths that bring about the best in human life. My diet consists of primarily fruit, 99% fruit, and when it's not fruit, it looks like leafy greens, and very, very rarely nuts and seeds, almost never. And as a result of eating a raw, natural, human food-only diet, I've achieved many, many health benefits over the last several years. One of those incredible benefits is it seems that I don't get sick, ever. I've been very, very, very healthy, contracting no flus or colds over the last several years of my life. Now, as a professional stuntman, right now in film, there is an imposition that is requiring us to do testing for the existence of a potential pathogen that is apparently the cause of a disease. And it is with heavy heart that I was told a little while ago that I was, after one of these tests, analyzed in the affirmative for the presence of that pathogen. And I guess what's really scary about being shown to be analyzed in the affirmative for this pathogen is that this pathogen has never been shown, isolated, or purified to even exist. So it's really scary because it's so mysterious. I mean, you would imagine that the medical community would have at least seen this pathogen somewhere and known that it exists as something in reality before they could formulate a test that would test for that thing, because it's really hard to test for something that you don't know exists. But anyway, I trust the medical community, and so now I'm really scared. And it's just so scary because I'm so used to feeling utterly fantastic every single day. And I have been for pretty much a decade now, almost a decade, feeling fantastic every single day. And so when I got analyzed in the affirmative for this pathogen, by the time I got home, I started to get even more worried because I felt just as fantastic as I felt every single day for the past couple years. So, oh man. So anyway, I just thought that I would help educate everybody to know what it's like, know how hard it is to live with the world's most deadly pathogen. And so I videotaped how I've been living for the past couple days, living with this thing. And I thought I would share that with you now, because this is no joke. And so this is a public service from myself to you. I do have to warn everybody that the following scenes and what you're about to see can be very disturbing, as you'll see someone who's extremely sick going through life with this deadly pathogen. So viewer discretion is advised. But I hope this is educational and informative for you. So without any more delay, this is what life is like living with the pathogen. Yeah. Yeah, it was, it was really challenging, feeling so bloody good. Oh, it was really challenging feeling so bloody good over the last couple days. And, but I wanted to really, I was really anxious to move forward, and poisoning my body with something that's shown to be absolutely destructive to human life, because that's, that's what we're told we should do to counteract the effects of this. But before I did that, I went to work the next day, and as I was really starting to feel depressed with how fantastic I was feeling, and we analyzed again, and sure enough, only a couple days later, the tests revealed an absence of the pathogen in a very short period of time. So I guess that's it.
What the hell was that?
Okay, that's enough of that. I gotta be real with you guys for a second here. Listen, guys, the world is trying to confuse you, okay? And it will not stop. There are psychologically manipulative forces at the helm, steering the world, the planet, into a direction that is leading to a hidden type of tyranny, technologically enhanced type of tyranny. And we really got to be on guard for this. In 2020, the world was hoodwinked into believing that something existed that didn't, and they've used that as a rationalization to justify a whole slew of freedom eroding measures and protocols on people that are completely ineffectual, do absolutely nothing, are an immense amount of financial waste, and have and are currently ruining the lives of people, right, who follow along with the program. All the information is out there. You can educate yourself really, really fast with this. But the testing is nonsense. The testing, of course, is completely bogus. There is no credibility, no veracity whatsoever to any of the testing going on right now. Number one, some supposed deadly microbe has never been shown to exist, period, by any health institution ever. Not once. Which of course begs the question, what could they possibly be testing when the thing that they say they are testing for has never been known to exist anywhere but on a computer screen? And the answer is, they're not testing for anything. They're testing for any kind of genetic material that could show up, which is why people like myself can be shown to have the presence of a disease causing whatever and be perfectly normal, perfectly healthy. It's because the tests don't have anything to do with reality or the reality of health or wellness. They don't assess whether you are infectious, which is not a real thing, which doesn't actually exist. They don't assess whether you are sick, and they don't assess whether you're healthy. They don't tell you anything concrete. But of course, they need you to believe that there exists something called contagion so that they can justify ramming down your throat a whole slew of pharmaceutical chemicals and toxins and compounds that make them a whole bunch of money at the expense of your health. Let's play devil's advocate. Someone might tell me, oh, Eli, you never had the thing in the first place. It was just the test that was flawed. But if you had it, ooh, then you might have been sick. Well, no. Sparing no expense, human beings have tried in a laboratory setting to try to infect healthy people with the mucus and effluent of sick people in all manner of disgusting ways. And it has never been shown that a sick person can make a healthy person ill. They tried it with influenza, they tried it with the Spanish flu, they even tried it with the polio epidemic, where they tried tooth and nail to try to infect people with polio, and it just didn't work. And it's because that's not how health works. Oh, Eli, you're just an asymptomatic carrier. You have a healthy immune system, but you are harboring the thing, and it doesn't affect you, but you could pass it on to another person. So Eli, you're being, oh, so selfish. No, rubbish. Because that would violate the entire theory to begin with. We are told that this particular pathogen is the cause of disease. Thus, if it is in the body and it does not cause disease, well then that destroys the theory. Because if it's there, it must cause disease. And if it doesn't, some other explanation is forthcoming. The concept of the asymptomatic carrier was a clever lie that was sold to the public when the medical community realized that what their theory said did not stack up to what was happening in reality. So they had to come up with some sort of bullcrap to sell you an explanation why healthy people cannot be infected by blasting them with mucus and effluent from sick people, where they would obviously be taking in whatever, the bacteria or the pathogens or whatever. So they have to try and explain this, so they say, oh my gosh, okay, Oh, I get it. No, they'll never believe that. You know what? Yeah, they will. Yeah, people are so gullible. Let's just convince them that when they're healthy, they're actually sick. Yeah, they'll believe that, right? Yeah. And if we can get them to believe that, then it means that we can sell our products to everybody. Because healthy people, sick people, they're all the same. We have to treat them all the same, right? It's just a lie. It's just a lie. There is no asymptomatic carrier of any disease. There's no asymptomatic. If you are not symptomatic, then you are not expressing disease and you are not contagious. This is all baloney, right? This is the lie that the medical community has sold you from day one. And it's worked because we simply just don't understand how true health and vitality work. Oh, but Eli, what about all the people getting sick? How can you be so arrogant and claim that these things don't exist when obviously people are getting sick? No one has ever from day one claimed that sickness is not a real thing. Sickness is in fact a real thing. People can get sick. Sickness is the body's attempt to regulate itself back to health. That is what sickness is. The symptoms of disease are the cure for the disease, right? The symptoms are the body's way of cleansing and purifying in order to convalesce back to health. That is what sickness is. No one is denying that people can get sick if their body detects that there is something that needs to be cleansed. Where the deception comes into play is where the medical community gives you an interpretation of why sickness is occurring. That is the deception. And it has nothing to do with an evil black magic microbe that floats around in the ether and jumps from person to person and says ha 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 and makes people sick. That is not what happens. That has never been what happens, and it will never be what happens. It will always be personal responsibility to health that guarantees your health, wellness, and immunity.
With the war-discovered DDT and special sprayers, sections of the city are blanketed with the insecticide in the fight to stop the spread of the dread poliomyelitis. Every suspected spot is sprayed. Children are forbidden to gather. Tons of DDT are used in this fight against the dread disease, whose principal target is the young. Tons of DDT, tons of DDT, tons of DDT.
But of course, that's the big trick, isn't it? The world wants to convince you that there is nothing that you can do to protect yourself from being sick. And that is, of course, another colossal lie. They need you to not have integrity. They need you to not have responsibility so that you can believe that you are completely powerless and that these things can just make you sick for no reason. Which of course doesn't exist. Cause without effect does not exist in reality. When I was analyzed in the affirmative for the presence of this thing that's never been shown to exist, hilariously, you're given guidelines. Oh, make sure to isolate. I made sure to do absolutely none of that, of course. Definitely no isolation, going out in public, having fun, spend some time in big crowds, doing the complete opposite of any type of isolation. Because this has nothing to do with your capacity for developing sickness. The world wants to make you stupid, ladies and gentlemen, and it is your responsibility to not let that happen. The world is going to convince you of all sorts of embarrassingly obvious lies, like black is white, ugly is beautiful. Don't believe me? Go and take a look at modern abstract art.
Oh, come on!
They'll try to convince you that health is sickness, that sickness is health. They'll try to convince you that men are women and women are men. They'll try to convince you humans are nothing but animals. They'll try to convince you that all things are equal, regardless of the fact that everything is obviously different. They'll try to tell you that truth doesn't exist, that truth is just subjective. You can just make it up as you go. They'll try to tell you morality is subjective. You can just make it up as you go. There is no such thing as evil. There is no such thing as good. Values are subjective. They'll tell you that family is bad, government is good, slavery is freedom, poison is medicine, and sickness is normal. They will try to convince you of so many lies that it will bamboozle you and turn you into a shell of a human being. You cannot let that happen, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be on guard. You have to maintain your integrity to navigate through this whirlwind of deception that the world is going to throw at you. And people like myself and thousands of other truth seekers and promulgators of value and morality and integrity and truth, they're all doing the same thing to keep humanity on track and let us unfold the best in humanity that we possibly can. Thank you so much for tuning into this little parody with me. I'm Eli Martyr. This is the FreeMelon Society. Subscribe if you like videos like this and want to see more, and we'll see you guys on the next one. I trust the medical community, and so now I'm really scared. Perfect. just as fantastic as I've felt every single day for the past couple years. Oh man. So